Now for this part of the eyes, I'm using my MAC Tidwell stubby brush, but any small kind of round brush will, or pointed round brush will work here. You just want to be careful not to have too much paint on there. Shape is kind of gone out of this eye, so it's a little bit hard to see where the carve line is. Okay, you may want to go over it a second time for really good coverage if you didn't get it the first time. And I've already gone over and repainted the black on the headband and the hair where I had some over brushing. And I also added the black base coat of the eyebrows. So we're gonna dry brush over those when we do the hair. Okay, so I need to let that dry. Paint isn't sticking very well, so I need to let it dry before I come back and do my second coat. So we'll rinse that brush, and while we're letting that dry for a little bit, I'm going to start to dry brush the, let's see, we can do the hair. So we'll go ahead and use the burnt sienna for the hair. We're just going to dry brush right over the top of the black. Now I'm going to use a larger brush, but I'm kind of just trying to make sure I get the, let me see, let's do the eyebrows first because I've got this little brush. Yeah, this is definitely going to take a few coats. Try not to get that color on the face. I've got these little parts of hair down here. Pretty dark. So let me grab a different brush here. I'm going to switch to a number 4 fire ends brush. Okay. Just for some larger spots on the hair, need a bigger brush. So these are pretty good carving texture here, so I can use, just have a little bit more paint on my brush than I would if I was working on a flat surface. Really work that color over the black. Anytime you're dry brushing over the top of black, it does take quite a few coats to cover really well, so. Gonna keep working that color over the black. It takes a long time. Once you get your initial color down there, then it's a lot easier to work with. Right now it seems like it's going to take forever. Okay. Using very little pressure here. Now, if you're working fast like this, I usually will just go back and retouch up the black several times because I like to work pretty quickly and not so much perfection. But if you are much more into perfection, then you may save yourself some time from having to come back and repaint over these black areas if you are just a little more ginger with how you're laying the color down there. Much paint in there. I want to be pushing down a little bit harder to get coverage on that texture. Some hair right here. Get on that little tiny pigtail right here. You're really gonna wear my brush down here. They do start to get worn down if you put a lot of pressure on them like I tend to. I'm very, very heavy-handed, so. Got a really nice base color going here. Okay, I think one more pass and I should be good, and I can add the highlight to his hair. Let's see, let's do it from this angle here. Okay, gotta get this top of the hair again here. Okay, looks pretty good, I like that. Gonna make sure we get all the way down there. Come up under here one more time. Okay, now I am going to go to, I'm going to just keep using the same brush, and I'm going to pick up some light buttermilk. Okay, and I'm just going to hit the top parts of some of these strands. I want to get the top of this hairline here. Come over here and hit the side. Be careful not to get that tip of that brush on the scalp. Come back here and just hit the top again. I'm trying to just pick up a little tiny bit of color on these high parts of the hair here. So again, I'm using very little pressure on the brush. Okay. Now, if you want to make some of these spots a little bit lighter, you can. You can come up here on the top. Just barely capturing that little bit of color there. Because this is the top of the head, which is going to have the most light, so we do need quite a bit of a highlight here on the top. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep working that color back to the back of the head. We're kind of working in circular motion here. I'm pulling it down like almost like a teardrop shape. A little bit more down on the top here from the middle. Here, a couple of these, again a little bit more of a highlight here. Okay, then same thing here, we're just going to hit some of these high spots. You see I'm kind of holding the brush horizontally rather than vertically. I really want those bristles where all that paint is rubbed up inside there. I really want those bristles to do the work of pulling that color on there for me. I want to get several different kind of shades of brown going on in here. Okay. And we're going to pastel that, so we'll be able to really add some detail to the top of the head there. And just a little bit on that top part of that. A little bit more down here. Okay, let's put a little bit down here. I have to work on the eyebrows. I need another coat of brown on there, so we'll come back to those brows. Okay, I don't know, I might maybe want some other brown in that hair. I'm not sure. I kind of like it like that. Alright, so let's rinse the brush and we'll work on shading the face.